What? Welcome back, everyone, to Yikes. That's not Halloween related in any way, I assure you. I have no idea what's going on with that. Why did it do that? That is so creepy. Me, hang on. That's what y'all are supposed to see right now. Oh, I know why. And I got a black spot up there. Oh, I can fix that. There we go. Well, maybe not. I don't want to mess with my camera setting too much, or it'll just mess things up. Wow, I know why I did that, because I am looking at that monitor. That's not really what I want to be doing, but whatever. I'll live with that. Welcome, everyone. So, few programming notes. First of all, I was going to start to here, or even posted in Discord earlier, the winners for the All Europe Challenge, but I didn't get it done because I was distracted with the 1.53 open beta release this morning. That consumed almost all of my time, that running to my mailbox to get something, which I'll share with you shortly. So I don't have the information. I'm not even going to tell anything. So I'll wait until I can post it in Discord. Plus, I will talk about it in the next live stream if I can get it all done, because I also have to revert back to the current version of ATS 152 in order to have my convoy with Redbeard later today. So, but I do have the 153 open beta. But let's see who's here early and on time. First of all, we have got Phantom 6767. Nicholas XXXN is here. Nick is here. 153 must have some cool new stuff, as I don't remember Boomer doing it on the first day of the beta. That's right. I don't normally, but it does have some cool new stuff, and I want to share that with you. Shorty is here. And Shorty, this is the American Truck Simulator. No Germany rework in here, but yeah, the Germany rework will be in the Euro Truck 153. Nick, it would be cool if Missouri is named on the map in 153, so we could say it might release this year. We'll look at that in just a few minutes. Thomas Berger is here from Germany. Bugwatch is here from Wales. And I guess I could have said that Phantom is here from England. Lobo is here. Lurch is here in the audience. Semper Bufo is here. Striker M11 is here. All right. So let me just say, because of everything I've got going on right now, I'm not going to do the shout outs like I normally would, because there is a lot to cover in 90 minutes to 2 hours. We got a lot to cover. So first things first, and that's why I have this screen up. I have a package delivered today. I got an email from my mailbox place that I had received a package. So let's see if you can. It is an international shipment. A care package from Wales. Bugwash, as a matter of fact. So got my knife. I'm going to open this. See what's inside. Try not to cut myself or anything inside. Hopefully I'm just cutting the tape. Literally just got back from the mailbox place with this package. As soon as I saw that the email telling me that I had a package, I'm like, oh, I have got to go get that. Well, I must say, Pugwash, you did a heck of a job wrapping this, sealing it. bit of a loss as to where the thing opens at. I've got stuff on the sides. There we go. Oh. Here, there's nothing inside. I gotta learn how to do my camera thing. Hey, Adam, welcome to the stream. Okay, as expected, because it's something we've been discussing for a while. I've got 2 bottles of brown sauce, which is just in time because I ran out of the brown sauce that I got on Amazon. I knew nothing of this. 63 years on this planet, I'd never heard of brown sauce before. And I heard Phantom and Pugwash talking about it in Discord a few times. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Brown sauce. I had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, it could have been anything brown and saucy, you know, things I just won't even mention. But it turns out it's a condiment, and they use it on a lot of things. And once I understood what it was, I discovered that I could order it on Amazon, and I ordered a similar bottle as this, and I like it. And I already went through one of these, and now I've got 2. So thank you, Pugwash, and thank you, Phantom, for even making me aware that such a thing exists. Things that would take the conversation down. Yes, that's right. We won't beat that. So, if you want to send something that might get open during a live stream like this, that's the address. However, the address is also in the description below, probably at the very bottom of the description. And it's also in the Discord in the support channel near the top of the channel stack. So I am looking forward to this. All right, let me switch over to my why are you not showing my truck? Because I didn't prep this early enough, that's why. There it is. Make that big. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the overlay because there's no need for that. We can leave the Swifty overlay on because there might be a need for that. I hope not, but we shall see. Let me check one thing real quick. Okay, I got audio working. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, let me catch up on chat here. Adam, you could go to the supermarket and get HP sauce there. No, I can't. I have looked at every supermarket that I go to. Smith's, Albertsons, Winco. You know, I didn't check the Sprouts that I've been to and I need to go there again, so I'll check Sprouts. But I've never seen it in a store before. Let's see. Nick says, did you see the news about the floods in Spain? Yes, I have seen that news, and we're not going to talk about it because we don't talk about current news or politics on my channel. But yes, I have not followed it, but I've seen some of the reports, and it appears to be even worse than what happened maybe in North Carolina this past month. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about what's going on in American Truck Simulator 1.53 open beta. So I have on my tablet over here on the side, I've got the blog post so I can refer to it as needed. So first, let's answer Nick's question. And by the way, I'm in Phoenix, because I want to drive into California. So, Nick, there is no Missouri grayed out on this 153 map. So, it'll probably be, well, it's not going to be this year anyway, but I have no doubt that it'll be probably in the first quarter next year. Although, what is this? I just noticed that. There's something. A little accidental placement of something. And we got some road. Of course, we had this before where the roads kind of went into Missouri and Iowa. So we've got some bits and bobs, to quote Pugwash, of stuff in the Missouri and Iowa future maps. So what are we going to do now? So we're going to look at California. I've already taken a sneak peek, and I like what I see so far from a realism standpoint, because San Diego was very lacking before. So let's zoom in on San Diego. So now we've got this area here, and there are some, at least visually, some warehouses over here south of this, and you can't tell. I guess that's what this is. It's the freeway. I-5 turns into whatever that is. And this is the area that I would always deliver to in San Diego. There's a truck stop here. It's not in the exact location that it is in real life from my memory. It seems like this should actually be over here a little bit more. But when I looked at it from above, it looked as I remember it. So that's good. And then there's a whole bunch of warehouses over here, which I've visited and delivered to or picked up at a number of times. So I'm excited. I don't know if we'll get there. Well, hopefully we can. I didn't take a look at Los Angeles because I just didn't have time before I needed to get ready. Now, here's another thing. If you've read the blog post, they added 3 new cities. So here's what it says. This is the Phase 4 California rework. And it focuses on the southern, all right, I touched something on my screen. It focuses on the southern part of California. Southern region of California is what it says. It includes 10 cities, 3 of which are entirely new. So the new cities, as best as I can figure out, are Blythe, Indio, and Mojave. Oops, right here, Mojave. Now, as far as I know, we had all these other cities before. So let's take a quick count. San Diego, El Centro, Blythe, Indio, Los Angeles, Oxnard, Santa Maria, Barstow, Mojave, Bakersfield, and Barstow. So that's 10. And like I said, the 3 new cities, I believe, are Blythe, Indio, Mojave. Anybody thinks differently, let me know. Let me go take a quick peek at. We have. I can't see the live chat at the moment while I'm doing 2 different things. Nick, did you see the new? Yeah, I already did that. Adam, it's called a work in progress. Yes, it is a work in progress. Although the last time when we had 151, I think, before Arkansas released, or maybe it was 152 beta, Arkansas was grayed out. Instead of black, it was gray. No cities, but it was gray. So that's what Nick was referring to. He was hoping that we would see Missouri being grayed out. So we don't. Nicholas says, do you know Good Springs? No. Not sure what you're referring to, Nicholas. Good Springs. Is that a town? Is that a place? Is that a thing? I got Good Springs in my mattress. Sometimes they show the name and the job market first before they gray out the map. Okay. Well, what city is there? Well, we won't see anything. Pretty sure. Not going to see it. So let's focus on what we do have. We do have a redone California, a reworked California. Good Springs is a town north of Mojave, west of Las Vegas. Oh, that's probably in the near Death Valley. Never been there. Is San Bernardino a good sized city? San Bernardino. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, the short answer is yes. It's might even be the county seat of San Bernardino County. Yeah, San Bernardino is in this area here, I believe. Actually, San Bernardino County, I think, is the largest county in the United States by square miles or whatever, by size. All right, let's get back to what we got going on here. I'm going to go back to the blog post and see what is next. So, there are changes let's see, drivers working in this region can look forward to making deliveries to and from the cities of Bakersfield, Santa Maria, Oxnard, Mojave, Barstow, Indio, Blythe, Los Angeles, San Diego, and El Centro. So again, the three that were not here before, as far as I recall, is Blythe, Indio, and Mojave. Similar to previous phases, much of the original base map was removed and reworked entirely from the ground up, including the city's surrounding areas. So we'll see everything we can. Our team also focused on reworking key routes, including major coastal highways such as the US 101, California 1, and I-5. In addition, several other important routes have been revamped, such as the California 58. California Highway 58 is the one that goes from Barstow to Bakersfield, right here. So most of you have been along this route. This rest area is where you can stop and look at, I think, stop and look at the Bates Motel right up here. And then an area that is not on the map now or before is Tehachapi, which is basically right here. So that would be nice if they had that. It might be a little further. I don't know. So let's see. California 14. I don't know what 14 is. Oh, right here. Okay. Yes, I should know where that is. Been on it in real life. And California 99, which runs through Bakersfield, Fresno, all the way to Modesto and Stockton. Along with Interstates 10, I-10, I-15. So I-10, I-15 goes to Las Vegas. I-40, which starts here in Barstow and runs all the way to North Carolina. And I-40, you all are familiar with I-40. We have all been on it all the way across the existing map through Albuquerque, Amarillo, Oklahoma City, north of Fort Smith, through Little Rock, and then it runs over here to Memphis. We haven't been to yet in the game. And Interstate 8, which runs from San Diego all the way to this area. Well, basically it runs to I-10 between Tucson and Phoenix. This is Interstate 8. Okay, so moving on. We got dynamic cargo. Remember the dynamic unloading that we had in Arkansas, where we had our own log trailer. We could go to certain places and get dynamic loading, where you would actually watch it load the logs, and then you could get to a delivery place, some of the delivery places where you could watch them actually unload the logs from your trailer. Now that is all over the ATS existing DLC map, so everywhere in this really update. I don't think we're not going to get to see that today. We just don't have time. They've also added the 5th generation Cascadia to the Driving Academy. So that would be the one that I would choose going forward. There have also been some changes. Let me go back here to if there's any no new up or well, there is. Is California 99 in past Sacramento? California 99, I think, ends at Sacramento. But it used to be Interstate 5. So it's probably still that. Did I finish the driving academy? No, that's what I was going to do today, is work on that some more. Because I haven't produced any videos of me doing that, which I may have to go back and do. So, but there's reasons why I haven't been producing any videos, which I'm not going to talk about right now. I hope to release a video discussing that later this weekend, maybe, or early next week. So, which is more likely the case. What is the next thing that happened is in the options area. I'm going to go to gameplay because I'll see this the most. Now, anytime you make a change away from the game default, in this case, I'm just messing with parking difficulty. The default is always select. I have mine on skilled parking, and anytime you're moved away from default, you get a little diamond here in the options. So that's neat. It's not groundbreaking, but it's neat. It's not as groundbreaking as, say, a search box. So it's just a quality of life improvement. Let me just read that paragraph. We're happy to introduce a feature that we believe many players will find helpful, especially those who often adjust their settings, fine-tune what is best to their liking and setup. When changing an option with a default value, players will now have a visual indication of when a setting has been moved or changed from its default state. So that's what this indicates. You can see I've made a lot of changes. Settings that have been adjusted from their default value will now appear with a small visual indicator alongside that setting. We hope this helps users find which settings have been altered from default. Okay, moving on to the next thing is smooth and auto camera settings. This one I don't quite get, but you will find that over here under accessibility. And it is right here. Another new feature we are happy to include with this update is smooth and auto camera centering. Players can now enable this new option to return their camera to a central position automatically after moving it. When activated by the player or by moving forward, the smooth centering feature becomes noticeable as it gently transitions the camera to the central position. I suspect this doesn't affect me because I use head tracking. I have it set to instant, which is what the default setting is. I put it on slow and notice no change. This edition comes with a range of personal preference options, including 3 options of speed. Let's see. Auto. Oh, because I have it disabled. That's why. Didn't even notice that. Well, I'm not going to enable it because I use head tracking. I'm afraid that might mess me up. But there is 2 of the settings. Range of personal preference options, including 3 options of speed, which controls how fast or slow camera returns to the center, as well as the option to set how many seconds of delay there should be before recentering occurs. For players who use a third-party head tracking solution or prefer to adjust the position of the camera manually, also have the option to disable this feature altogether, which I have done. Special transport update. So you'll get an email that will tell you that there are new special transports. There's a new one out of Los Angeles. Doesn't say where it goes or where they go. However, if you go to jobs, go to freight market, select Los Angeles, you will see here's two. An air conditioning complex that goes to San Diego, a massive tech part that goes to San Diego. But we won't do those because the truck I have isn't set up with a powerful engine for that. Let's see. We've added a new route for truckers to haul oversized cargo between the rebuilt cities of Los Angeles and San Diego via the I-5 route. That's not all. In response to community feedback, we've decided to raise the maximum speed limit for special transport deliveries. Escort vehicles and the transport trucks themselves can now travel at speeds of up to 55 miles per hour, an increase from the previous limit of 40 miles per hour. We would like to ask our players to try out this update and share feedback on whether it enhances and improves the overall smoothness of these jobs. I would think so. All right, and lastly, and this is something we're going to play with, sliding tandems. We're going to slide some tandems. I'll show you how to set that up and some other interesting stuff. So in the 153 update, we're also introducing a new sliding tandems feature. Previously, players could only set trailer axles in a fixed forward or rear position. Now, select trailers come with updated chassis, allowing players to slide the axles freely to optimize the weight distribution for their load. Now, we're going to play with that right now. Right after I check, see if there's any new chat. You bought a trailer with sliding tandems. Are you showing us how it works? I think I just answered that question. I think it's only for when you're moving camera with mouse. Yes. So that you're obviously referring to the camera centering. So that's not going to be a factor for me. So let's go into drive mode. I have a trailer. Now, this trailer has the option to have sliding tandems. Let's show you how to do that. Oh, come on. One of the things that's important when you're sliding tandems in real life is and even in the game, you need to have your truck and trailer aligned. If you're cockeyed, you're going to have issues. Not that you can't do it, you're going to have issues. So what it looks like when this is what it looks like when you're aligned. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go into the options for the trailer configuration. And you come up here to the chassis options. Now, this trailer is already set up to do have the tandems in the front. So if I go back out, I should be able to go to the F7 menu, I think. Normally, I would be able to adjust the trailer. I don't know why this is disabled because I don't have this trailer set up for to adjust it. So, but normally you would go in here, and then you would switch. Oops, what I wanted. There we go. So I would go in here. Well, I'm at a shop, so you have to look for this. 50, in this case, 53 feet sliding tandem, and it'll have a yellow bar over the tandems. But I'm currently have it fixed front. So I could go fixed rear. But normally I have fixed front because this is usually how I would have my trailer tandems in real life. Because you want the shortest wheelbase you can get. Otherwise, you got them all the way back like this. You really got to swing wide on the turns. Okay, let's talk about sliding tandems. So you select that. You can even see that the frame has changed. There's nothing back there. And then if they're all the way back, then there's nothing up here. But if you're like this, you do that. Now you've got frame to slide these tandems. So these tandems will slide in real life. So I've slid my tandems hundreds of times in real life. In fact, I've done it recently. I have one place that I deliver to in Las Vegas where I have to put them all the way back before I drop it in the dock. Because that dock, the configuration of that dock requires it. It basically lifts the trailer in relation to the dock. Because of the slope leading down, it's a slight slope, but it leads down. If I had the tandems in front like this, the rear of the trailer would be below the dock. So by putting these all the way back, now in relation, because again, it's a little bit of a slope, in relation to that, it's now lifting it or keeping it at the right height for the dock. So sometimes you have to do that at a place. All right, so I'm going to change this to the sliding tandems, and I'll show you how that looks. Now, first, we have to look at the options. I'll show you what the default is. Go to keys and buttons. And you scroll down to trailer. Okay. And there's a new option here, toggle manual trailer axle adjustment. Well, if you don't, as it says over here in the top right, if you don't have anything assigned, then the game will automatically adjust those tandems based on the weight in the trailer. I tested this earlier, and because I couldn't figure out how to get him to slide without setting a keybind. But when I went to go pick up a load, it adjusted them. In fact, it put them all the way back, which was not cool. And they're not legal in California and a few other places. So I recommend setting a keybind. So what I set was, because I couldn't think of anything better, I just went Control T. I already have T set for my trailer attach. So I went with Control T. Do these sliding trailers come in Europe as well? This is just USA as far as I know. I am unaware. Someone else can answer this better. But I'm guessing you don't slide tandems in Europe. Nicholas? Anybody else? Do the trailer brakes need to be on to stop the wheel from moving? In real life, yes, but not in the game. Europe does not have sliding tandems. There's your answer, Nick. So, in real life, I would set my trailer brake after I released. There is either a manual or pneumatic release for the pins. There's 4 pins, 2 on each side, that lock the tandems into the frame in their current position. And you make sure that your trailer brake is on, and then you go back and you release the pins, either with a manual pull thing, or there's like 3 different things that I'm aware of, 2 manual ones and 1 pneumatic. And that will release the pin. When I get a chance to record video of doing this at my current part-time job, I will. They have pneumatic ones, which are kind of neat. I only see 7 likes after refreshing. Yeah, smash that thumbs up button, everybody, because there's more than 7 people here, I think. Speaking of which, how many peeps do we have? We have 16. 7 likes. Okay, thanks, Lurch. All right, so since I have key mapped a key combination, first let me turn the truck on. And turn on all my things. So I have to release the truck brake. Now, by using Control T, it actually locks the trailer brakes. And I would normally do this in the cab of the truck by pulling the trailer air supply. It's not showing here, but there's a little lever to the left of that. That's obviously the trailer brake. Not all trucks have that extra brake handle, and that's not what should be actuated when I do that. What you should see right now is the red trailer air supply should pop out. Okay, get back outside. But since this is configured to do this a different way, I'm going to press Control T, and now I'm going to drive the truck forward slightly, and you see the trailer sliding until it hits the rear stop. Now back up. It'll do the same thing until it hits the front stop. So there's literally steel in the front and the rear of the frame that stops the tandems from going any further. If you've ever seen a photo on the internet somewhere where those tandems were separated from the trailer and the trailer's sitting on the ground, that's because somebody forgot to do that to reset the pins, and then did it while they were driving, or they hit the brakes and there's so much force that the tandems stop and go and break off those stops at the end. It's an ugly scene. Yes, Nicholas, you can lock it anywhere. So let's lock it in the middle. Once you stop, and this is what I have found. I have to put the truck in neutral, then do the Control T again, then I can move forward or back. The tandems are set wherever you put them. Put it back in neutral, Control T. Back in neutral, Control T. And that's how it works. And that's kind of how it works in real life too. Except it's a little noisier and clunkier. And again, in real life, I have done this hundreds of times. Sometimes the slide, I mean, it's just steel on steel. And sometimes it gets a little rusty or dirty. And every once in a while, first of all, sometimes the pins don't want to release. Sometimes it doesn't want to slide, and you got to make it. So yeah, it can be. I've done some crazy things, and late in a future video or live stream, I'll share some photos of some crazy things I've had to do to get the tandems to slide. Okay. Any questions on tandem sliding? Otherwise, I'm going to go find a load. What situations do you lock the tandems in the middle? Okay, so let's talk about why. That's a good question, Adam. Let's talk about why you need to slide tandems. The reason is to distribute the weight of the load more or less evenly between the truck tandems and the trailer tandems. There's such a thing called the bridge law. And what it means is you need to, well, first of all, you can't have more than, in a configuration like this, you can't have more than 34,000 pounds on the truck tandems or the trailer tandems. So if there's a lot of weight, if it's a heavy load, because a lot of loads you don't have to even worry about it if it's just light. But if it's a heavy load, and if a lot of the weight is up in the front and the tandems are in the back, the truck tandems will be overweight. And you have to take some of that load off by sliding the tandems forward. And so normally, and I need to get off of this spot. Or I'm just going to keep getting that message up. So sometimes I've almost never had to put them all the way back, and it's good because I have had to, but rarely. Most of the time, or a lot of the times with a heavy load, I had to slide them forward. Striker asks, why don't you use a third axle as is standard in most of the world? Because it's not standard in the US. This is standard in the US. Lurch says, am I right in guessing that the pictures of trailers collapsed in the middle is because the tandems were too far back? No. It could be a factor. The reason for that, Lurch, is because it's a really old trailer and steel wears out over time if it's not maintained properly, if it gets rusty. And it was a very heavy load, and it just overwhelms an old trailer. So the tandems were moved, probably in those pictures, the tandems were moved to where they needed to be legal. But the trailer just couldn't, the trailer frame just couldn't handle it. Striker says, I know it's standard in the US. I'd like to know why. I don't know. This is just normal. I mean, we have some trailers that have 3, 4, 5 axles on the trailer, but it's not normal. So we haul, this would be in a configuration like this, and we're getting a little off track here, but we could haul potentially up to 45,000 pounds of load in the trailer, as long as you had your tandem set correctly. Nick, are these trailers restricted to certain states? No. This is a standard throughout the United States. A trailer like this, all of them, all box trailers like this and reefers, they all have sliding tandems. There are only a few types of trailers that don't have sliding tandems. But anytime you see a dry van or a reefer, or probably even a curtain sider, and even a lot of flatbeds, they will, unless they have split axles, they'll have sliding tandems. So back to the original thing, why would you move these? And I have in my video library a number of videos where I talked about exactly this. You literally go to a scale and you get all 3 of your axle groups weighed. So your front axle, which is your steer tires, generally speaking, shouldn't be more than 12,000 pounds of weight. You can get away with up to 14,000 in a lot of states. The truck axle group and the trailer axle group cannot be more than 34,000 pounds in most states. If you're, let's say we have 35,000 pounds on the truck tandems, drive axles, then we would need to slide these tandems forward to take some of that weight off of the truck axles. As says, detents are 6-inch intervals, if I remember correctly, and this is probably one of the coolest additions to the game. Definitely one of the coolest. I've wanted this for a long time. This can also help making tighter corners. Sliding forward will reduce turn radius. Okay, so you got three things in there. The second one, absolutely agree. Right from the very first day that I tried American Truck Simulator, I was like, why don't we have that? But I accepted it. As far as the detent positions for the trailer axles, it depends on the trailer. A lot of them are 6 inches, some of them are 4. So, yeah, 4 inches and 6 inches are standard. So there's a hole underneath. You can't see it in the game, but there's a hole every 4 or 6 inches for the pins to go into and lock into place. And the last thing you said, help making tighter corners. Sliding forward will reduce turn radius. It would, but once you set your tandems on the trailer in whatever position they need to be, you don't change them again until the next load. It would be an extreme example or situation if you were to adjust your trailer tandems mid-trip. So it would have to be like you're really hung up on a corner and you slide them forward long enough to get around that corner. But other than that, no. Never slid these once I locked them in after getting them legal. Adam says, how come delivery trucks do not have tandems while driving to a city? Well, it depends. Do they have a 53-foot trailer? If so, they do. If it's a box truck, they don't. They're not set up that way. This is a unique configuration for 53-foot, trailers. So, what I want to do is, first of all, let's put this all the way in the forward position, which is the normal position that I would have had these in, because I want to have the shortest wheelbase I can get and still stay legal. So, do tanker trailers have sliding tandems as well? No, because they're constructed differently. Shorty says Vermont and Pennsylvania used to use portable scales to check the weight of all the axles. If overweight, the company would be cited. If you're an owner-operator, you would be cited. Actually, the driver is always cited anytime, because it's the driver's responsibility. The company still suffers because they get points on their, I don't remember, FMCSA log. FMCSA is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And points in your FMCSA history can equal higher insurance rates. But it is always the driver's responsibility, and it is always the driver that gets cited if it's wrong. With a box truck, the drive shaft is connected to the drive axles. That's correct. You can't slide those. In this case, the drive axle is connected to the truck tandems. They don't slide. They're fixed. All right, let's find us a load, and I'll show you what happens. I guess we could go to the external market. It don't matter. We could do a Phoenix load just because it's easy. So we'll go from whatever that is. So we'll go there and we'll get that. Be right down the road. And Shorty, a lot of states have had and still have portable scales. I've never had to deal with one, but I know a few people who have, and it's a variety of states. All right, I don't even know where we're going. I didn't look. Oh yeah, right down there. Okay, cool. You know, as far as having the tandems forward or back, as I said, you want to have the shortest wheelbase possible. Because if I had those all the way back, it would increase my turn radius even more than normal. Striker, another thing is that we have longer trailers in the US typically than they do in the EU or in Europe. I don't know if that has anything to do with how many axles. The number of axles on a trailer is going to determine how much weight you can carry. So as I said before, there are a lot of trailers in different parts of the country that have more axles on them. It's just that the norm is 2. In the Pacific Northwest, there are a lot of trailers that have 3, 4, or 5 axles. And it is unique to that area, and they can carry a lot more weight. But only in those states. By the way, I didn't mention it earlier, but I put it in the description below. I do not have any mods installed for this, which is pretty much standard for any time I'm doing a beta or a new DLC, early access. Now doing that is not required, but it just keeps things simple. And I'm outside because I'm doing a blind side back. And I don't want to mess up on camera. All right, remember, we have the tandems in front. That's called bumping a dock. We really do that in real life. Everything is done out the rear. That sounded bad. Alright, enough of that. Okay, tandems are in the rear. Hey, Thor! Let's see. Did you ever haul a Michigan trailer? The ones that are more or less consisting only of axles? No, but I've seen those crazy looking things. What he's referring to they're like hopper, almost hopper like. They're for hauling, I don't know, loose material, dirt, whatever. And they are nothing but axles the whole length of the trailer. First time I ever saw them, I was like, what the heck is that? So, all right, it doesn't look like they moved the axles. Because this would be the automatic. Oh no, oh shoot. Never mind. I was supposed to turn off the keybind to show you that. I didn't even see how heavy this load is. It's almost 40,000 pounds. So I wouldn't adjust this load here. I didn't even check to see if this other piece of this was enacted. Would go to the scales and check. But it would probably be something like that. Be my guess. All right, where are we going? Right there. So not far. Willie's here, and Thor is here. All right, this is going to be tough. I should have done a better job of, in fact, I still can. Since I'm going to be turning right out of here, I need to do a better job of straightening this out, or clearing that gate. Now I can clear that. Jordy, I'm not trying to denigrate your experience. I just know that from a legal standpoint, it's the driver's responsibility to get it right. And if they get it wrong, they're the ones that get a ticket. But it still reflects poorly on the company for the reasons I outlined. Plus, you do that too many times, you could lose your job. So, yeah. Plus, I think you were driving a long time before I was, so things may have changed a bit. Lost audio? Let me get turned and see what's going on. Buffering? Nope. Back now. Huh. Let's see. Okay, audio's working. Good deal. Back to what we were doing. Oh, okay. So buffering, I know that I've been having some internet-related issues, minor internet-related issues, but it could also be local on your end as well. But if a lot of people are seeing it, then it's probably on my end. Buckeye Road. Yep, this is a major east-west road here in Phoenix. There's another one farther down called Lower Buckeye Road. What are y'all waiting on an invitation? There's your invite. Go. Okay, fine. I'm going. You guys are annoying me. Now I gotta swing wide because of that car. Good thing my tandems weren't all the way back. Now I delivered it here earlier today when I was practicing this, and I had the tandems all the way back. And I had to park right there. See how this goes. All right, let's, I'm going to go clear. What I want to do is put the tandems all the way forward and then find another load. Anyway, I'll show you what I mean. I don't know how much of the you know, useful game stuff. Oops, I was going to go there. Without having the scales working correctly. Let's see what kind of loads we've got here that we could take for either external. Oh, hold on, I got to do something else first. Let's clear that keybind. That one right there. Unassign. Click on it. Okay. Now we have no keybind to change that. All right. External market. We got something to Tucson. I don't want to go there. Let's go here. India. Oh, is it heavy? Oh, it is heavy. Let's do that because I want to go into California, and it'd be awesome to go into Indio. How did I do what, Willie? Oh, you were not here at the beginning. I showed how to do that. Okay, let's take this job. It is a heavy load, 44,672 pounds. That is close to one of the heaviest loads that I've ever done. I've been in excess of 45,000 pounds, but not often. And that is here. Remember, tandems are all the way forward. I do not have the keybind set. According to the game information, it's supposed to automatically set them. I hear the police sirens. What did you do? I'm a renegade. All right, remember now, tandems are currently all the way forward. Let's see what happens after we get loaded. They still appear to be all the way forward. So it didn't move them, even though I have a very heavy load. And typically when you've got a very heavy load, you've got pallets that go all the way back to within just 2 or 3 feet from the door. Which means that I would want to slide my tandems back a little bit to balance the load. So we don't have that, and we didn't get adjusted. I mean, I didn't see any adjustment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually slide them, but I got to turn that option back on. Keys and buttons. Go down to trailer and set the Toggle manual trailer axle adjustment to Control T. And just for fun, because we're going into California, I'm going to put them back really far. That is not California legal. Let's see what happens when we get into California. In real life, these trailers have markings on them to show where the 40-foot mark is. There'll be an arrow that points down, and you should not put your tandems back so that the rear axle, the center of the rear axle, should not be farther back than that arrow. At some point, I'll share a picture of that. We also have to be mindful of the fact that I've got the tandems back farther than normal right now. So I need to swing wider. Than I normally would. Even though they're not all the way back. They're back pretty far. And I've had trailer tandems set back like this many times. I don't like it, but I had to bridge the weight. So this is 235 miles. I'm not really certain why California has the 40-foot max length requirement. I mean, I know they do have a few tight spaces, but I'd be more worried about that in New Jersey. Now earlier we were on Buckeye Road, which runs east-west. Well, right out here, west of Phoenix, is the town of Buckeye. And so Buckeye Road goes to Buckeye. And there is a Walmart distribution center in Buckeye that I've been to many times. But I always got there from here, from the interstate, not Buckeye Road. Well, except maybe once. So let me ask you guys, since you have the option in a trailer like this to put the tandems all the way back, have you ever, while hauling a load? For no other reason than because you could. Let me know in the comments, both in the live chat or in the comments during the replay. We're coming up on Tonopah, and in real life, this exit up here for Tonopah, it's not really a city. I'm sure there's a town nearby, but I've never seen it. But there is a TA Travel Center on the south side, the left side of the freeway here. It's not modeled in the game. I've stopped there a lot because it's just outside of Phoenix. And it's a good place if you got to deliver in Phoenix and you don't want to fight trying to find a place to park at a truck stop in Phoenix. It's a great place to stop. Lots of parking. Decent food for truck stops. Oh, what's going on here? My clue was that there was a helicopter hovering overhead. Should have known. Yeah, that's a real life thing too. Yep, that canal is there in real life. This is Quartzsite. On the left, there will be a Love's Travel Center. Once we cross over the Colorado River, we'll be in California, and then we'll start to see some changes. In fact, right on the other side of the river is the City of Life, which I believe is new in the game. And this is Ehrenberg. Oh, we gotta slow down already. I don't think you have to slow down to 55 yet in real life. Oh, wow, 45. No. There is an agricultural inspection station ahead in real life. Now this looks different, a little. Now, we should not have an issue with our tandems here. This is an inspection station, not DOT. CalDOT. We have to tell them what we're hauling. We just show them our paperwork so they can see what we're hauling. And then they can decide if they want to do an inspection or not. I've shown this interaction in my real-life trucking videos a few times. Sometimes they just ask you what you're hauling. Especially if you're with a reputable company like Schneider. But if you're with something, you know, that they might consider a little shady or whatever, they're going to ask to see your paperwork. Hey, Redbeard. Yes, the rumble strip works. So this is Blythe. This is one of the newly modeled cities. This looks pretty accurate. So nobody's run their trailers like this with the tandems all the way back, just to see. Oh yeah, speed limit's 55. We've discovered Blythe, and I do have to go in. This is a way station, so this is where we're gonna get potentially dinged for having the tandems too far back. Let's see what happens. Moment of truth. Illegal trailer usage offense, $1,500. Yep. Your trailer's kingpin to rear axle length is longer than required by California law. Okay, got a ticket for it. Not surprising. But that's what I was after, to see what would happen. For science. Oop. But no, Nicholas, I don't. I guess I could now, since I'm driving regular. I intentionally turned it off at the beginning. But it can be on now, I suppose. I haven't installed the bit. No, I haven't. Wait. Are you saying you haven't installed the beta yet? Pilot? Right. Which reminds me, I forgot to install the new there's a new TrucksBook client available, which I learned from Pilot just yesterday. I downloaded it, but I forgot to install it. Hopefully it works better. So we could potentially still get another ticket. If a cop sees this and pulls us, I don't know how that works yet. I guess we'll find out. That would suck if every time we got passed by a California Highway Patrol that we got a ticket. By we, I mean me. See, where are we going? Indio. Now, I've been through Indio many times, but I don't think I've ever stopped there. Oh yeah, I have. I don't think I made any deliveries there, but there's a big truck stop here. This is also where Coachella is, for those of you who are into that kind of a thing. Right down the road from here. But yeah, there's a truck stop on the right I've never been to. But on the left, there's a big Travel Centers of America truck stop that I've stopped at many times. Yeah, I've never been to that truck stop over there. Really? Okay, fine. Don't you hit me. There's our 2-hour warning. Good thing we're only 6 minutes away, game time. So here's that truck stop on the right that I was referring to. I've stayed there dozens of times. Maybe hundreds, I don't know. Probably dozens. But that's usually because I'm passing through the area and it's a convenient place to stop. But I've never delivered in this vicinity that I recall. Haven't even been to my PC yet. Well, you're working, aren't you, Pilot? Isn't this a working day? Matthew Roth is here. Welcome. Don't forget, if y'all are enjoying this, leave a like. That road or highway that we're passing underneath is the one that goes to El Centro. Or Yuma. Well, just because would never do this in real life like this. You could literally back your trailer into a car behind you. Plus it just doesn't make sense. And you have to get out to go release the tandems pins. So I believe this is new area for the game, completely. So a new place to explore. One of 3. I'm speeding. Blah, blah, blah. Stop your squawking. Aha! We'll be off Tuesday. Now let's say that when we checked in, they told us that our instructions were to back into door or put the trailer into door, whatever that is. 7. Put the tandems back. Ooh, right next to that dumpster. Well, when do you put your tandems back? At the gate? Nope. Definitely not. Because remember, well, that's not really a factor at the gate. Hey, Susan. Yeah, lots is new. Oh, Nicholas, you're home. Trip to Northern Norway got canceled. Well, I'm happy and sad. I'm glad because you're going to be hanging out with ability to hang out with us, and sad because that sounded like a cool thing to do. Pilot, always have tandems back because safety concern to take a forklift onto that trailer. That weight can shift and not a good ending. Yeah, it really depends on the delivery or shipper or receiver. But a lot of places do want you to put your tandems back. But the way that you would do that now is after you got lined up in the dock, you actually got, and I'm not very good, but you would get settled in the dock. And then you would put them all the way back here. And then back into the dock again, all the way. Yeah, once you lock the pins or release the pins and you do the next movement, usually slide the truck back a little bit, you'll get that thunk sound as the pins go into position, if that's what you mean. Yeah, some places they want the tandems back, not because of any unevenness, but because it'll carry the weight as the forklift goes right onto the trailer from the dock. And I think that's what Pilot was referring to, because he's done a little forklift work in the past. So now that I'm unloaded, I'm going to pull forward a little bit. I'm going to stop, release the tandems, and slide all the way back. And that's what I would do in real life. And then I'd be off to do the next thing with my tandems all the way forward. That didn't work. I'm going to park it here. Oops. Actually, oh, I had this a little too fast. I went way over here in just a split second. So I can actually do this while looking this way, I do need to straighten out the truck and trailer. Oops. And that is sliding your tandems. SR Crixus is here. Oh, yeah, maybe Sound Fixes will add that. That would be cool. We'll have to hit him up for that next time we see him. Yeah, it's an awesome feature, but we really need the scales at the truck stops to now weigh all 3 axles independently so that you can determine if or how much you need to slide your tandems to be legal. We do know that you can't, in California and a few other places, you can't have them too far back. No more than the rear axle cannot be more than 40 feet back from the kingpin. In a lot of cases, you're measuring from the kingpin to the center of the axle group. But for California and a few other places, it's to the rear axle, the center of the rear axle. So, any last minute questions? Because I'm going to have to wrap this up. Because I got to revert back to the 152 version for my next live stream. Let's see, 20 people watching, 13 likes. Who didn't like? I know I did. But just count also if you got that 4-axle configuration that you usually use for the trailer. Have I done that with my trailer? I don't know. Let's have a look at that. We can go into the catalog, trailer, explorer. You have to get a dry van like this, or it could also be a reefer. It doesn't have to be just a dry van, but a reefer. And I think the other one is curtain cider. Not that. Yeah, I don't think these will slide. The card would know best on that. But you see, this can't slide because of the way it's constructed. This is a belly dumper. This could, or should be able to, in theory. That's a container trailer. Let's take a look. Yeah, sliding tandems. Yeah. Thanks, Susan. The tankers, no, because of their fixed configuration. But it looks like well, this is a flatbed. That should be able to. Oh. That's interesting. Okay, that's a regular flatbed. Step deck. Nope, not the step deck. So no flatbeds, apparently. So let's go back to this. That's a 48-foot sliding, 53-foot sliding. But 4 axles? No. So in theory, with with 4 axles, you don't need that. You don't need to slide. because you would put this axle down to take more weight off the front, or leave it up to carry more weight in the back. But then you're limiting how much overall weight you can carry. But I would think if you put those down, this front tandem, or axle rather, that would just carry more weight. Spread axles, you cannot. And I'm not sure how that is in real life because I've never dealt with a spread axle trailer. Most of the spread axles I've ever seen are flatbed, step deck, or curtain side. So that is sliding. So let me, did I find the reefer? I don't remember finding the reefer. Was that here? Okay, yeah, reefer. So that can be sliding tandem. I mean, measuring 44 feet to the center of the back axle thing in California, then you don't have sliding tandems. It's 40 feet, and yes, in some places it's 41. Because when it's all the way forward, it's like 37 or 38 feet from the kingpin. I don't remember exactly. But I know if you're going to run into California, you don't have much room to play with. So if they're all the way in the front, you just don't have much room until it's 40 feet. Okay. And then remember, the keybind for that is under keys and buttons. And then you can just come down here to trailer group and look for this, toggle manual trailer axle adjustment. If you leave it blank, it'll automatically set it for you. But I think it's possible, and maybe it won't make it illegal in California in the automatic mode. I don't know. I know even though I had a 45,000 pound load, it still kept the tandems pretty far forward. And let me see, was there anything else in the article? Yeah. So the change log, basically that it was the Phase 4 California rework. Dynamic cargo loading and unloading of logs available throughout the U.S. New special transport route from Los Angeles to San Diego. They raised the speed limit for special transport jobs from 40 miles per hour to 55 miles per hour. And the new 5th generation Freightliner Cascadia is available in the Driving Academy. Fully functional sliding tandems and fines system. Visualization of changed options. When you change something from the default, you get a little diamond here. Smooth and auto camera centering, which I couldn't emulate because I use head tracking, or I didn't want to change anything. So let me go back to this. I'm going to disable that. It doesn't matter. What I am going to do is I'm going to drive to that truck stop, back up the road. I know I was going to stop, but I want to do this. I just want to test something. Just to see if they added it in this release. Because most of the time when I picked up a load someplace, especially a heavy one, I would go to the nearest truck stop with a scale, and they almost all had scales. So my question earlier to you, and maybe I should have put up a poll for you guys, is have you ever set your tandems all the way back from the F7 menu? Just because you could. And nobody said yes, so I'm guessing nobody did, either because you didn't think of it or because you didn't want to. Which, same with me. I never did. Because I didn't want to. Quite frankly, it's not fun. It's more challenging driving with your tandems all the way back. You are more likely to run over a curb with your trailer tires if you have them all the way back. So when I go up here to the truck stop and I get on the scale and I weigh myself, it's either going to give me 3 numbers or 1. In the past, it's always given 1. So let's see if they change that too. I'm guessing they have not. Which would be unfortunate, because that would be the way to test it. So I am working tomorrow, but I don't know that I'll have a chance to record any video of moving the tandems on the trailer that I'm on. I might, because I will be doing a lot of sitting around I expect at the marshalling yard first thing in the morning. I might get a chance to play around with that, but I'll have to bring my tripod so I can set that up. And I don't like to get too carried away with recording video while I'm on the job right now. Not my truck. I don't see a scale on the map at either truck stop. Maybe as we get a little closer. Should be right next to the fuel island. Oh, there's the scale. Right there. And this is literally how you do it. Vehicle gross weight 35,898 pounds. So they're only measuring the gross weight. But do you see the yellow lines on here? Those are actually gaps between the different scale weight load cells. So that front one weighs the steer axle, the next one weighs the drive axle, and the last one weighs the trailer axle. But that's not how it's modeled in the game, so that's unfortunate. That's a piece that's still missing. Okay, that's going to do it. Get back in here real quick. Wait, what's that? Look on here so I can see it a little better. Can't decide if I want to go back to the Cascadia or use a T680 NG. I prefer maneuverability. I prefer maneuverability too, but there's legal obligations with moving those. Never drove with sliding axles. Nope, we kind of determined a while ago that they don't have sliding axles in Europe. Nicholas says you couldn't move the tandems when you got cargo in the truck with the F7 menu, only when you're empty. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Susan, no, I didn't know you could do that in the game. Yes, you can in the base game. As far as I know, the current version, you hit the F7 key with a dry van or a reefer trailer. In American Truck Simulator, you can literally move the tandems back, but according to Nicholas, you can't do that when you're loaded. Thank you, Shorty. Yeah, everybody, remember to hit that like button. Yeah, we got 18 and 18. That's good. You're lucky no bonehead was parked in front of the wait. You're right. Because that happens in real life. All right, everybody. We got another live stream coming up in 4 hours. Redbeard and I are going to have a one-on-one convoy in American Truck Simulator. So I've got to revert my game back to 152. We'll see you in 4 hours. Thanks for being here.